And we're back. And we're super pumped, super excited, super awake, most importantly, to do this next match. And, you know I got a little bit lethargic. Red had to carry the whole broadcast that last match. I do apologize. But it's not all Swarmhost's fault. They can be fun. And both those players were fighting tooth and nail for that series. So we'll pep it up. I did some jumping jacks. I bench pressed the entire building, and then I ran around Germany real quick, and I'm back and ready to go.
Yes, and I was just waiting here, eating some pizza while you were doing all that.
Yep.
And I am pretty excited because next up it's going to be HyuN against Deer. And you have to be super excited for Deer. Like, if it's for me, it's Jaedong. I just get naturally excited. For you, it has to be Deer. He's one of the best Protoss players in the world. And it's going to be cool to see what he can do. First map will be Frost, and we're actually into the game. So let's jump in and introduce our players. In the bottom right, it is the red Zerg player representing Roccat, his new team. It is HyuN.
The pajama pants man.
Sickest pants ever.
Always wears those
That
clown
guy.
pants. His opponent, the fearsome blue Protoss from Korea. It is Mao's Deer. And you're right. Deer is certainly last year's top 3 performing Protoss players on the planet, arguably #1. And going into this year, of course, expectations have not fallen off. The idea is that he is still in the top 3 up there, one of the absolute best. So I'm really excited to see what he does. To even go off of that last match, so I know there's actually already a thread on Reddit. People were tweeting at us saying, Swarm so boring, so bad. And I'm not going to disagree fully because I'm going to be honest with you. I do find the gameplay, to a certain point, it does get kind of boring. But there's of course, excitement and strategy to it. And the reason I'm bringing that up and tailoring it to this match is because I feel like part of what makes a Protoss player super successful is, as opposed to just kind of giving up when that happens and saying, well, I can't do anything about this, it's playing to it. Zergs are very strong in that situation. Hasuob's played to it in that his late game is maniacally passive and insanely patient. If you have that kind of patience, as Rhett and I both identify, we don't have. I could not do what Hasuob just did, and it's not a question of APM or smarts or anything. It's that I don't have the patience to do that. There is another form that you can do, and that's what we're seeing from a lot of these Korean Protosses, is like immortal all-ins or very strong and decisive 2 to 3 base timing attacks that either fatally wound or at least slow down the Zerg players so that if they do try to go Swarm Host, you have more time to get a bigger advantage to then hopefully capitalize in the mid to late game.
Yeah, and I think also the last game, a lot was it to the map. Hasuob's just knew, I take 5 bases. If I get Tempest, I can always snipe your 6th base, because all that's left is those 2 bases in the middle of the map, and you can always outrange them with the Tempest.
Yep.
So we think we have to give some props to Hasuob for just playing that out really, really smartly, not taking any insane risks. And he just beat Jaedong. He's in the winner bracket final, so
Yeah.
amazing result for him, really. But of course
cool.
now the second semifinal to decide who will play against Hasuob's, and both players so far went for very economic openings. Deer playing with the Nexus first, going gate straight into core, and HyuN actually going for the 3 hatch right before any spawning pool, and not even taking any gas. So far,
they do have that
very
close
greedy.
spawn location that you had talked about in the past, where you said when you're in this location, you already know you're going to go Swarm Host. So it's very powerful. I don't know that HyuN comes to the same conclusion. If anything, I would think he's thinking, well, I already know I'm going Roach Hydra. But I think he says that most of the time he's a very aggressive Zerg. And not aggressive in the sense that he likes to end up going mutas. He's capable of it, but he likes to really get a lot of his work done between the 10 and 20-minute mark with those Roaches and with those Hydras and his multitasking and his just swarm ability. He's very fast.
Yeah, throughout his whole career, he's always been known as the lair type guy who just attacks off lair and been very successful with that. And I don't think he's really changed that all too much. We saw him play at the Seed Story Cup. He played mostly against Terran and Zergs, but he was very, very aggressive like he always is.
Yep.
And so far, he's not getting any gas. He's playing extremely, extremely greedy. And this probably will turn out to be okay against Deer, who's went past 2 gas. And we'll probably... Actually, there's the Forge. So this is like... We've seen this a lot with Hasuob's games, where they get the +1 and then take the super fast 3rd base. And this might be something that Deer's going for as well. He's got 2 Stalkers. He saw that there was no gas, so he's going to put a lot of pressure on and then probably just take a 3rd base
Very
right
safely
behind
stand
it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think that I like that approach the most because It gets you that third, which is not a tech committal and allows you so many options from that. It's kind of a fork in the road, and you can go in any direction, but it makes that fork more empowered. We're going to have a 4 Zergling counterattack over here, actually.
Yeah, and this probe is blocking for now, but neither seems to realize because there's a lot of attacking from Deer going on. But, wow,
Oh,
the
dear.
force field. Nice.
He didn't even lose the probe, just to make it that much more sexy.
More painful for HyuN. Yes.
He is
or
going to get this
sexy.
queen at the natural, though. He pulls in here as well, and because of the damage it's taken, it does get the inject off, so of course that minimizes the loss here, and there should be a recall back. You don't want to lose 2 stalkers here. You can
He
get the
does
Zealot that
pick
as well.
pick off quite a few drones as well. He recalls now, but he picked off 6 drones in total.
Yeah, I don't even know
Somehow
how he did
through
that.
all of that, so definitely a very nice exchange for Deer so far in the start of this game. The one thing that those links did prevent is that there was no super fast turret base being taken. And right now that does seem to be happening. But there's actually a lot of slow links on the way. It might pose a bit of a problem for Deer.
Yeah, because, well, he should add like 3 sentries to this, so I think that is what that is, yeah.
Exactly that, yes.
If he didn't have the additional 2 gateways, we'd be looking at like a $900, $1,000 third Nexus or something like that right now. It's just a serious
You sure it's
minerals.
dollars? Or
Okay, all right, Rhett.
if anything, it's euros, man.
You think so?
Or won, Korean won in this case.
Maybe Chinese currency, wouldn't it? Probably by then, in the future.
Ah, yeah, probably.
They're going to take us all over, I do believe. Robert Orlin has tweeted more than once he welcomes the new Chinese overlords. But he says that joke about everything, so it's kind of hard to give him credit for that prediction. Ravi Robert. Going to be a lair. Gas is now being taken, 4th hatch. Think of HyuN as kind of a more powerful dynamic Tefl from Korea. He's going to power the Roach Hydra hard. He likes to do that. He even does it in the ZVT matchup, making him a little bit different from a lot of the Zergs as well.
Yeah, and Deer so far is playing pretty much the total same way that HyuN is. He's adding 5 gates. His +1 will finish up. He'll be able to get +2 really, really fast. And
Someone did this
many
build, man.
gates, I think he's going to want to put on some pressure. He's got a lot of sentries as well.
I'm an idiot. This is exactly the build Haswab's doing.
HyuN, yeah. Totally,
but Haswab's
totally
copied this from Deer, is what happened.
Well, they are teammates.
99%. No. Oh, God. Rhett, let's not you're not that much of a caster yet. Come on.
I mean, I don't know who copied who, but whatever it is,
Yeah.
like whatever HyuN is doing is working, so maybe Deer thought...
I'm telling you, Haswab's got this build from Deer.
Probably.
And if I'm wrong, Haswabs, you tweet angrily at me and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
HyuN is celebrating his win right now. He's not listening to you.
He might be, though. That's how some people celebrate.
It's true. He plays HyuN next, possibly.
Yeah, he's
so
listening.
he should be watching.
God dang it, Rhett.
He's probably got it muted.
You just went to you just wanted to tear me down, but instead you realized I was probably maybe right.
But against HyuN, who's just powering roaches right now and getting Zerglings and having that 4 hatch production.
Oh, and Aspire too, by the way. So that will be that Meadows switch that I said he doesn't do. 6-hitter.
And Deer deciding not to go for it. I don't think he ever wanted to go for it because he never got a pylon. There's a small roach counterattack here at the bottom. Will not do anything at all.
This is exactly the build that Haswell was just doing. Like everything about it.
Yeah, even the War Prism.
Yeah.
But
right down to the push out with the sentries and the stalkers at exactly that time. But it's kind of funny because they both did the same thing too.
Look at that.
Is it up there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be a Meadows switch afterwards. But in close positions like this, it's not super great. I mean, Meadows switches are always potentially super great. Like if they're not prepared for it, then it's just awesome no matter what. Oh, big
but
surround.
This is scary.
Does he recall out? No force fields just yet. I mean, he's losing so many sentries. Of course, with the Meadows switch, that's not, the biggest concern, but it's just expensive. And a lot of times players will rebuild them.
And this was a half-ass recall. He doesn't save any sentries, and now the Roachlings are just going to be streaming in, and he has way too little to deal with this. And at the same time, there's 10 mutas.
3 sentries and the robotics bay ret. He does not know what's coming out. What losing those sentries does do, by the way, it means we're not going to see any hallucinated Phoenix anytime soon. So this Warp Prism's the only
Look at
scout.
His Warp Prism.
Yeah, and it
you
does
will see
pick
the
up on
mutas.
it. Okay, mutas are like,
These zealots are kind of scary.
I have other things to do, They just fly by. But otherwise, the Zealot Harass is actually getting kind of shut down by just a few Zerglings because of poor control, and the Warp Prism dies as well.
And instantly the 3 Stargates being thrown down. So it's really going to be up to Deer to buy enough time for him to get enough Phoenix to deal with this. But for now, HyuN's looking in a really, really nice position. He's already got his 7th and 8th gas up at the top. His creep spread is looking great. He's still got his large ground force. And I think like with these mutas going into the main, he'll be able to attack with his ground at the third and just spread Deer really thin and take full advantage
I
of...
don't mind Deer's position. I'll say it. This fourth base is not yet getting mined. Just now the gas is being taken. 3 Stargates build Phoenix faster than a baby poops, typically. I don't know why I said that, but that's what I'm going with. And with these Blink Stalkers, well, getting pinned on the bottom there is not great. He's going to lose a lot of Stalkers there. He needs to blink back.
There's still so much ground for HyuN. He's just pushing forward, and these Blink Stalkers are really going to have to micro their hearts out to even hold up against this. There's the photon.
Yeah.
Very nice
Deer's
so far.
Very nice
so far.
And the Mutilis are getting thinned out, by the way. Like, you can see on the production tab, it's more Lings and it's more Mutilis, but the Mutilis count is not in a scary place.
Where are the Phoenix? There's no Phoenix on the production tab.
He can't afford to make them. He's just making Stalkers to survive right now.
Yeah. Does he have another photon overcharge, possibly? If he did.
He'll be okay here. He's going to hold. He's taking losses right now, which is unfortunate, but... I
feel like he's almost losing too much.
Look at the production tab, though. It's like 1 or 2 meters at a time. Yeah, I mean, he's taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, he will defend.
And look over at the third. A couple of Mitos just wander in there, die for free. That's HyuN, by the way. HyuN's a really good swarmy player, but he's pretty sloppy. He'll lose units for free.
Yeah, now actually Deer did a good job holding off. He is up to 66 probes, so he's got a full 3 base economy. He'll be able to produce a lot of units, and now he can start making Phoenix. And
he shouldn't. Here's the thing. He's getting tefled right now. He's getting tefled. Like, he shouldn't make Phoenix because he just killed most of the mutas, and he's like, all right, you idiot. You're not going to make any more mutas because only a dum-dum would do that. But HyuN's like, ooga booga booga, and he's going to make Mutilis anyways. And here comes 11 Mutilis, just going to go into the main where there's already cannons. And guess what Deer's making in droves? Well, he's making Phoenix. He's way smarter than I am. But he has Blink Stalkers is the point I was trying to make. Like, he already has the answer for these paltry Mutilis as well.
I think he definitely needs the Phoenix once these mutas get up into massive numbers. But
and he wants them for after. Like, you can't just make Stalkers.
There.
Really?
On the Stargate. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, it was really nice.
But HyuN would be better off with having 10 gas, so it's still, like you said, it's a little bit scary. There's only a few mutas being made at the time. It's only 8 gas, it's not 10. Yeah, but the Blink Stalkers are holding on for now. Where are those 3 Phoenix? They should be here in the fight.
Yeah. Losing a lot of Stalkers, though. He can't, at this point, afford to lose too many of them because they represent, basically, his entire army.
He's going to lose all of them, I think.
Well, and HyuN is just attacking over and over again.
Such a tip. If HyuN loses this game, it'll be like a typical HyuN game where he just keeps attacking, and forgetting to tech up, and he's just making more and more mutas.
Now he's making mutas again from scratch. He's starting at 0. He's starting from the bottom, and now there he is.
Now he is. Now he's here.
Know
I'm not sure he's anywhere, though.
No, but he's just not at the bottom, though. And even Corruptors, man, if